What up, G?
What up, H?
What's going on, bro?
Bro, it's been a minute. It's been like...
Well, first of all, those of you who would have noticed, last week there wasn't a show. Unfortunately, we both actually had Boston, the family. Both our uncles are late. It kind of happened that way. Unfortunately, it was all very short notice and very much out of our control. So to those of you who were looking forward to an episode, our sincerest apologies, but we back.
But we hope you watch the rest of the stuff, you know.
Go back.
Yeah, go back.
Go back and watch the stuff you didn't watch.
No, but we are back and we're going to give you more content on entrepreneurs. As simple as that.
Where we at?
Right now, we're in episode 41.
And where we at?
We're in...
Where are we? Sorry.
We are in Lonehill. Can you feel like we're in Lonehill?
Yeah, I think, but it's cool. We'll get back to it.
Yeah, we're in Lonehill at Activate.
Yep.
We're going to speak to Bonolo. She's going to tell us her story about her entrepreneurial journey and how she got to this specific place.
Without further ado, in the hot seat today on the Entrepreneur Spotlight is Bonolo Ditsi. Today the entrepreneur hot seat is Bonolo Ditsi, right?
Yes,
Did I say it right? Bonolo Ditsi, welcome to the show.
Lovely to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Right, so why are we here? What are we doing here? Like, who is Bonolo? And tell us a little bit about maybe your past. How does Bonolo get to the place where she sits right now? So a little bit of a snapshot of your history. Come on, everybody had it.
Okay. I'm Bonolo.
Yeah.
I am 31 years old. I've been self-employed since 2013.
Okay, good.
I've been doing this thing for some time.
Okay.
And then I studied BCom economics. Okay. I obviously didn't pursue it.
Okay.
During my studies, that's when I decided to start this whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is this whole thing? Okay, before I think we jump into it. Where's Bonolo from? Like originally?
Where am I from? Where am I from? I was born in Johannesburg. I'm from Johannesburg.
Okay.
My family's from Johannesburg.
Okay.
I had a few years in Soweto, so I'd like to say I'm from Soweto.
Are you saying Soweto myself?
Yeah. Soweto, thank you.
Okay, alright. So born and bred Josie girl.
Yes.
Alright, okay, cool.
100%
High school, varsity, where did you go?
High school, I went to Sandringham High School.
Okay.
And then varsity, I went to Varsity College.
Okay.
Stanton.
So you did complete your degree, your studies?
Yes.
And but just didn't follow through with it?
Just didn't follow through with it.
You never sort of went into your formal studies, I guess, or followed into it. What do? What is the entrepreneurial space that you're in?
Okay, right now I'm doing staffing. I'm a staffing solutions company.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing mainly.
All right.
That's where my main income is from.
Okay.
I'm obviously trying to venture into other things because you can't really rely on one thing as
right.
I told you. I started off in 2013, like I said.
Yeah.
I started off because I was a promoter.
Okay.
I started off as a promoter and then I thought, oh my gosh, I can do this.
Okay.
Had a friend that started working at a company called, it's now called Activate.
Okay.
It was called Magnetic Events before. They then were doing events and she was working here and we saw a gap and we filled it.
Okay.
We were like, you know what, we can do this.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, cool, let's do this. Yeah. And that's when I started with the staffing solution.
Okay. So you joined an existing company or how did that work? Did you formally start a staffing company? And I think before we get into that, what is a staffing company? For people who are watching this, I think like it's sometimes we tend to assume that people know what we're talking about. Somebody sitting there watching
to break it down. I basically supply staff for events. It can be activation companies as well.
Okay.
I do promoters, hostesses, barmen, waitresses. Yeah. And
so it's events as like the whole, not like I'm sitting at a mall and handing out pamphlets.
No,
but
and that as well, yes, and activation. So promoters, brand ambassadors,
How did you get into that? Like what was the reason behind it? So you mentioned that you came from doing promotions initially and you saw a gap in the market and said, look, this is something that clearly is missing in terms of an offering from a business point of view. How does that relate to your passions or what you like to do?
I'm a people's person. I love making people feel welcome, you know, like, hi, how are you? Make you guys feel welcome.
I feel good.
So I just thought, I mean, like, you know, as I was doing it in varsity, you know, I just thought this is such a great thing. It teaches you a lot of work ethics, you know. Actually, I didn't mention this, but right after matric, I took a gap year.
Okay. The infamous gap year, like
It's becoming a trend.
this is like, you know,
Common thread, yeah.
a common thread with the entrepreneurs is this gap year.
Yeah.
So tell us about your gap year. Like what happened in that gap year?
In that gap year, actually, my mom freaked out. She was just like, my daughter is taking a gap year. What is that? You know, it's just like, I really need to figure myself out.
Yeah.
You know? In that gap year, I worked at call centers.
Okay.
But I had no work ethics as much as I came from, you know, I came from promotions and I understood how to treat a customer, you know, but I had no work ethics. I was like absent all the time. I quit my job like every 3 months, you know. I used all the excuses in the book, you know, just not to go to work. I used my dog died.
You use
Wow.
that?
Yeah, I used that. Like I was running out of excuses.
And people bought that?
So, but look, I mean, if you're going to do those things, clearly a gap year is the year to do it because what the common thread is around the gap year is kind of figuring yourself out and finding your feet, finding your direction, you know, doing all of those things. So I mean, yeah, go ahead and you know get things wrong. And
but you know, I realized that obviously that this is actually not the way to be doing this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it is not the way to do it. And I realized that, okay, I actually want to teach people to have work ethics, you know? So I was like, I come from this, I started doing promotions actually when I was like 16 years old.
okay.
I started with, do you remember like TCC?
Oh,
Yeah, TCC. I didn't start at TCC, but there was a company, I forgot what that was, but they were doing Nutella. And the lady who was in charge of Nutella left that company and went to TCC, but TCC was still very small.
Yeah.
So she took me and my friends from TCC at that age, and that's when we started doing promotions.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, I was like, you know, I come from this background, I like, you know, grooming, how to talk to people. I was like, this is actually, I want to teach people how to give good service because it starts with service. You know? That's what inspired me.
Absolutely. So I think that a key thing to that is, you know, the aspect of selling yourself. And I think it all boils down to sales. With me, I'm a natural salesperson. So I've always had that latent ability to be able to get into a space and initially sell myself. And I think with what you're doing with placements, that's a very important aspect of that game. So do you actually go or sit with people before you place them and go through a certain process or with them, or is it kind of just like a trial and error thing until you get the right people?
If I'm pushed in a corner, I sometimes do have to do that, but I generally, I have a training document.
Okay.
I train you before. My number one thing is don't forget, you know, like you're saying, as a salesperson, people tend to think that when they're working for someone, they're actually selling what they're working with, like they're selling the product. In actual fact, you're selling yourself, you know, because it's all about it's also about self-worth, you know, how you value, how you portray yourself is self-worth, and that's how you face life, basically, you know. So I've got a training document, I train them, and then I also give like a before the event or the activation, I'll have a briefing section as well, just to remind the people, remember this, that.
Do you run this company by yourself, or do you have employees or people that report to you? How's this thing structured?
I'm a one-man. But
you're one-man show, carrying the world.
But I do have a friend who works with me. Like if I'm, like, you know, I could actually even call her my partner.
Okay.
You know? She's my partner.
Okay.
Actually, she's just not in the papers, but she's my partner. She helps me run this thing 100%. I know I can lean on her when I need it.
Okay.
So you would call it like basically part of your support structure.
Yeah, definitely.
And how important is support structure, especially running your own one-man band? If I can call it that.
Sure. You have no idea. You guys know. You guys know. Imagine you were doing this by yourselves.
Yeah.
But not being silly, you know? Yeah, there's something about, you know, corporate blessing.
Yeah.
It's always good to add in people.
Yeah.
It makes things run smoother. Depending on yourself is just really.
Yeah, I think the
It's not
ability to leverage off of somebody else who understands
Yeah,
what you're doing
definitely.
becomes very important. So in your line of work, how do you go about doing what you do? How do you go about finding the client that needs the people to work, and the other side of that coin as well? How do you go about finding the people who are going to work?
Sure, emails. I want to change my strategy though, because I feel like I could do better.
Okay.
I would love to change my strategy going forward. I want to go and see them face to face. Because sometimes sending emails doesn't really. You need a personal touch.
Okay.
You need to see who you are, what you do, whatever. But so far, I've just been doing emails.
Okay.
Sending your proposal, sending your profile.
Yeah. Okay. And then on the client side, so let's say now this is somebody who wants to use your services for that matter. How does one go about doing that? So somebody's sitting there watching this episode saying, oh great, this is really cool. I would like to use Bonolo's services. How do I go about going into that process? How do I go about contacting you? What is the process? Can people have you on a retainer, or do you work like sort of on a project basis, or how does that work from your side?
Because I'm still trying to make more money, I don't really have the retainer terms and conditions, I feel like we can work around it, whatever works for a person. But they can obviously contact me on my numbers.
Wait, what is the name of this thing?
Of what thing? Student?
This is a staffing. You didn't even go into that.
Excuse me? We started off with that. You said StudentHQ.
You started off with that?
Yes.
That was before the show.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm wearing the t-shirt.
Wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah, in case you guys missed that, it's right there.
Right there.
Hey, eyes up here. Anyway.
So if you could point it out in the past, 6 years?
6 years.
Yeah. What would you point out as one or two? Two of your biggest struggles that you've had in building StudentHQ?
And I think as in entrepreneurship as a whole.
Sure. I rely a lot on people.
Okay.
Students, StudentHQ. I rely a lot, and we know how we are as students. Some will rock up late, some won't show up. You will get their excuses, so that has been.
Like your excuse.
Oh no. Thankfully, my dog chewed up my t-shirts. Excuse. So, it's almost that.
I would actually think that you're probably dealing with the most vicious animal in the world.
Students.
It's crazy. Because I think of myself in varsity, and I'm like, there was no managing this. It was impossible. Not even my lecturers or the course I was doing.
Oh my god, exactly
managed to get it right.
That is my biggest challenge, and they are my resource.
Okay.
That is what my company is about. So that is my biggest challenge.
Sure. So
although you do get those dedicated ones that are trying to make that money, like which is great. But that's one of them.
Yeah.
Number two, I would say getting people to trust you, because if they don't know you, it's like I literally have been making it through this because of referrals. Because if they don't know you, it's a hard.
As with anything,
world out there.
So how do you overcome that? That trusting, because clearly you work in a space that needs almost a lot of trust. Number one,
a lot,
because a company or a person's business will be put into your hands, and you're now bringing other people to take care of this. So in essence, all of that lies, with you. And it's a lot of responsibility to take. So you almost have a fast forward trust phase that you have to overcome. How do you do that?
I work a lot with referrals.
Okay.
That's how I've been doing it.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. In this industry, so far, I don't know. I don't want to break any burst anyone's bubble out there, but
Please
for
do.
me,
Actually, please do.
We are off the record.
you know, it's literally who you know and
Yeah.
what you know.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's been working for me. I don't know how it works for the other people,
Yeah.
but so far that's what's been working for me.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess it's pretty cool to work from a referral point of view because that trust is implied already.
Yes,
when,
you know,
when you
they
get
know
a
I'm
referral.
reliable. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
reliable. You know,
Yeah.
I've tried the, you know, you can have some of my stuff for free,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Also because to win some, you have to lose some.
Sure. How does that work?
Yeah.
Like give because that.
Like maybe if there's an event and I want to let's say you guys are running an event,
Yeah.
I can be like, do you guys need a barman
Yeah.
or a waiter?
Yeah.
You know,
So singular,
and-
not like a whole group.
no, not a whole.
I'm not trying to dig a hole. It's ridiculous. So that's a massive part of being an entrepreneur and business on your own. Gary Vee talks about it all the time. He's like, give away free content, give away or show your services,
Yeah.
you know, for free. Because how else are you going to get your offerings out there to people
And build that trust.
who don't know you to build that trust?
True.
Also, if you have so much trust in yourself to give your work to someone for free, it's a certain level of comfort that I can have that, look, this person was willing to do this at no cost.
Very
Yeah.
true.
You just need to make sure that you don't get people comfortable with that not paying stuff because we know.
It's always a once-off thing.
Yeah, so you need to make sure that people are fully aware of that because we know how buddies and friends and people
Yeah.
get with the no, just can you hook me up?
No.
Let's do this.
So,
No.
fortunately, none of my friends are the "can you hook me up" kind of a thing. They understand.
That's cool. So you keep good company
Yeah,
as well.
no, they understand. You know, they
It's a business.
understand. It's a bit, and I'm still. You know, I can be bigger than what I am right now.
Yeah, sure.
And I need the people around me to build me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that's so key.
Yeah.
The people around you actually build who you are. Your associations, the
Yeah.
people who
Completely.
you're moving with, eventually become what becomes your foundation for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that. So, where to next for Bonolo and Student HQ?
I'm gonna get bigger.
From more vicious people. More students.
Speak it out there. Be positive.
More
But
trouble, more.
So I'm also venturing into other stuff. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us a few of those things. Like what are you, or do you want to keep that a little bit close to your heart for now?
I don't know if I can disclose. I don't know what that.
Okay.
I'm not doing it by myself.
All right, no, that's fine. So we don't want to overstep the boundaries and all of that stuff. But with Student HQ growing bigger, where do you see yourself? Where are we going with this? Like, what's the goal?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Do you know, I literally love bumping into people telling me, oh my gosh, Bonolo, you know, we love working for Student HQ. It used to help us out when we were in varsity,
Yeah.
you know. So where to from here is I want to meet people that
Okay.
have worked for me and they really think, and I've like made an impact.
Yeah.
That's what my footprint is about. I want to make an impact
That's
in
very
people's lives,
Yeah.
not just be there.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's not about the whatever.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's about changing lives.
Yeah. It's about
That-
changing.
That's what
lives,
entrepreneurship is all about.
Yeah, it really is.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
I think if we have more people thinking like that, we tend to forget that if we start off like that, money becomes the result. And changing the lives, you know, becomes such a great foundation that, you know, it pushes you forward in a lot of ways as well. I'm very close to that kind of mindset as well. So I fully support you on that. If somebody looks at this or watches this episode and thinks, this is really cool, this is something I'd like to get involved in, either from a consulting point of view or even working aside you or helping you, you know, source students or source work out, what advice would you give them to try and get into this space? Not necessarily to come and take over your space, but like, you know, a young entrepreneur out there, any advice that you would give them around running their own business? It doesn't have to be your business specifically, but what would you say?
I'm going to repeat myself. My advice is, I don't know, because I don't want to sound like I'm dependent on other people, but I know I wouldn't be able to do this
Okay.
by myself, you know. It's always nice to key in people that are interested in the same likes as you to work together. I'm telling you, I feel like together you can be a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm making
No,
any sense.
100%.
One person is not enough. If you have other people that can key in and jump in with whatever you're trying to do, don't be selfish.
Okay.
Don't be selfish. There's always more you can do with other people.
Collective.
And it's always nice to also to, you know, you don't know if you're helping this person, changing someone's life or whatever. But that's, I really believe in a conglomerate, not just a singular, what is it? I don't believe in selfishness. I believe in sharing.
So,
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I think if a lot more people, if we all stood together and pulled in the same direction, we can clearly all achieve more and have a huge impact. And
not in this world alone. There's a reason the people around you are around you.
Sure. I wish a lot of, I know a lot of people who needed to hear. That's
more than anything in this
more than anything, like somebody just needed to hear that, yo man, you can do this with other people and you can reach, you know, greater heights with things that you want to do. As with all entrepreneurs, you know, you need a balance between how you do things. So I think that's very cool. You're in the business of changing lives. We're in the business of changing lives. Half of the guys we've had on the show are in the business of changing lives. So already it kind of says that what we're doing is kind of pulling things into the right direction on its own. I really think you've got a good head on your shoulders. You're doing really awesome stuff. I think your mindset of wanting to change people's lives is really amazing. People who want to get involved with you, please hit her up. I think there's definitely a lot of synergy with people that we've spoken to on the show as well, so just take a look at that. We'll be watching. Without taking too much more of your time, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you guys.
It was such a
pleasure.
With those other things that you have in the pipeline that you couldn't talk about,
more episodes.
you know,
Drum rolls.
as it rolls out, let us know. We'll be back. It'll be only a pleasure to come and chat with you again.
Oh, definitely. I'd love that.
So, thank you very much.
Without further ado,
One deuce.
Out.
two deuces.
Double deuces.
We are.
Okay, part of the gang.
Yeah.